Fun fact, Dan and I went to the last week we were at the Creative Arts Emmys, and Dan was presenting, so he was backstage.
How was that? What was that? What did you do? What was your bit?
Our bit was, me and Joel McHale went out, and our bit was that...
How'd they introduce you first?
It was just top of the show. Creative Arts Emmys has to run like a bobsled because it's 72 awards, and they... It's so weird because it's like, okay, it's the Creative Arts Emmys, so we understand. Don't you're not going to show us during the primetime broadcast. So you would think that would mean then, okay, I won an award for hairdressing. I should be able to chew the scenery a little bit and go like hold my very real Emmy and go like, okay, like you know what? I've been putting my fingers through gross people's hair for 30 years, and I finally got a fucking Emmy for it. Thank you, Jesus Christ, for giving me the power to do hair at 6 a.m. Thank you to my mother who told me that doing hair wasn't whatever. Blah blah blah. Like, they give them like 14 seconds to get through this stuff because there's so many awards, and they tell them the time you take getting to the stage comes off your time. So people who like are winning for like best belt making are like running sprint
45
to
seconds.
the extent that they love their children and want to thank them more. They have to run. Like, the longer they've been in the business, the more people they have to thank, the more they have to fucking truck it up there. And the faster this weird techno music starts playing, when they play them off, I noticed the Emmys tonight, the real Emmys, they've created a very delicate playoff. Claire Danes was accepting, and it was like sort of like I guess in live orchestra probably they know what they're doing. They start vamping a little bit. That's the Creative Arts Emmys. Is like some woman going up there going, my husband died while I was doing John Cheadle's wardrobe, and I told him I'd be home by 5. I was home by 5 the next morning, and I also just.
It's
fucked up.
Including people accepting an award for a television program about kids with AIDS. And I was in the audience, and these people won this award, and they're like, this award it's not about us. It's about like bringing attention to this issue. There are kids across the country who are suffering from this disease, and they're dying, and I just appreciate. And then at a certain point, like they were.
Thank you, kids. Thank you, AIDS. Good night.
Yeah, but I was gonna say the coolest thing, like, that was a weird experience. But I was sitting out in the audience alone, like towards the front. I got to watch one of my childhood heroes, Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap. Yeah. And God, Morgan Freeman, watch Dan present this award. Like, I don't even know what Dan looked like while he was presenting the award, because I was just like, Scott
Were
Bakula.
they saying anything? It was like,
they're like, he's really.
What is that young man doing up there?
Okay, Scott Bakula and Morgan Freeman.
They were hanging out together?
They were sitting right next to each other. But you two,
hey,
Scott
Bakula, you want to go to the Schmemmies with me? Oh, if you're driving, I'll go. They sound exactly the same.
And that's how it happened. Yeah. And also, sorry?
I've cleared my throat, so please continue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Lost my train of thought. But before the Emmys, when Dan was backstage, so a producer comes out and says, okay, we need to get some shots of the audience. We need to see you guys smiling and clapping, when they go to the audience, when like you're really happy because Anna Gunn won, or sad because you won, or whatever. We had to do these like laughing and whatever things, and I was really not into it. And then I look over at Scott Bakula and Morgan Freeman, super into it. Like, guys, look like something really funny happened. Morgan Freeman, just like throwing his head back, camera right in his face. Him and Scott Bakula, like they do it. They really.
I have to imagine that they're either doing a bit, they're doing it ironically and having fun, or because they know they're going to be front and center, or because in the past they haven't done it and it's like blown back on them in some weird way.
What's up with Morgan Freeman?
Yeah. What's his problem with AIDS?
You get a Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones, famously at the Oscars, grumpy face Tommy Lee Jones. Like, no one wants to be Tommy Lee Jones.
No.
That's what it is.
I do.
Speaking of Tommy Lee Jones, holy shit, Batman Forever.
It's like watching your dad come down during a sleepover and like try to play cards with your friends. Dad! No, we don't want to play cards. We're talking about boys. It's horrible.
I don't want to pimp anybody to do impressions, but
but especially not me.
But the hardest I ever laughed in my entire life was when we were in Milwaukee. I was driving, the snow was on the road, and I was just driving with Schraub, and he was just being Two-Face, and I was just asking him questions.
Me going like this.
He's just mad about the. Hey, Two-Face.
Yes.
Hey,
this is going to sound a lot like my other impression.
But it's not really. It's more of a character.
What do you want to know?
Two-Face.
Thanks for the ride, by the way.
Yeah.
For the home listener, Rob is holding a side of his face and trying to.
Half of my face. Holding.
What do you like in your coffee? Do you like
half and half?
Yeah.
Two-Face.
Wow, you're so villainous.
Two-Face.
I like two things.
Two-Face. Everyone has to bring something to this potluck picnic. Dan's bringing casserole. I'm bringing soda. What are you gonna bring?
2 cupcakes.
Of the same flavor?
Yes.
Oh, well, all right.
He was doing it for an hour. We were driving around, and then at the end of it, I said, "What's your favorite movie?" And
Predator 2.
Predator 2.
I could have said Critters 2.
Predator 2.
That's
He
a good
loves
one.
Predator 2. I saw that they show the thing. They show the court video.
I don't like Face Off.
No, God, no. Oh, terrible.
I got really angry.
Yeah,
Now, if they only took off half the face.
It's like Catcher in the Rye.